ওকে ডিয়ার স্টুডেন্ট, আজকে আমাদের WBSSC ম্যাথমেটিক্স এক্সাম হলো। আমরা যেটা দেখলাম যে কোশ্চেন পেপার দেখার পর যেটা আমার মনে হলো পার্সোনালি যে কাট অফ কিন্তু হাই হবে, কারণ কোশ্চেন পেপার বেশ ইজি ছিল সবার জন্য। যাই হোক, আমি আশা করি সবাই খুব ভালো এক্সাম দিয়েছো। যাই হোক, আমরা একটু আজকের যে কোশ্চেন পেপার WBSSC ম্যাথমেটিক্স 2025, সেই কোশ্চেন পেপারের সলিউশনটা আমি অ্যাকচুয়ালি বলবো। তা তোমরা এই সলিউশনটা দেখো এবং তোমরা নিজের যদি কোনো মনে হয় যে কোনো সলিউশনে ভুল হচ্ছে, তাহলে তোমরা সেই জিনিসটাকে একবার হাইলাইট করে এবং কমেন্ট সেকশনে লেখো। বাট আমি যেটা দেখলাম যে কোশ্চেন পেপার খুবই ইজি ছিল এবং এটা খুব ইজি একটা কোশ্চেন পেপার এবং তার সলিউশনগুলো আমরা ডিসকাস করতে পারি এক এক করে। সো আমি বললাম যে হাই কাট অফ হবে এখানে। তো আমরা একটু আলোচনা করে নিই যে কি টাইপের কাট অফের কথা আমরা বলতে চাইছি বা কি টাইপের সলিউশনের কথা আমরা বলতে চাইছি। ধরে নাও যে কোশ্চেন নাম্বার, আমি কোশ্চেন নাম্বারিংটা তো দিচ্ছি না, কারণ বিভিন্ন সেটে বিভিন্ন আনসার তুমি দেখতে পাবে। তোমাকে একটা কোশ্চেন দেওয়া ছিল যে ফর আ rectilinear motion of a particle, বুঝতেই পারছি আমি কোন কোশ্চেন বলছি, ডাইনামিক্সের কোশ্চেন। অফ আ particle if an impulse I changes, if an impulse I changes its velocity from u to v, its velocity from u to v, then E is the change of the kinetic energy and E is the change of kinetic energy. তাহলে দেন বলে তোমার যে অপশনগুলো ছিল, অপশন এ ছিল E equals to I into 2u plus 3v divided by 5. অপশন বি তোমার ছিল E equals to I into u plus v by 2. অপশন সি ছিল E equals to I into u plus 2v by 2. and option D E equals to I into u plus v by 2. তো আমরা একটু দেখে নিই যে এই কোশ্চেনের আনসার কি হবে অ্যাকচুয়ালি। এই কোশ্চেনের আনসার যেটা হবে, অপশন ডি ইজ দ্য কারেক্ট অপশন। কেন না, আমার কাইনেটিক এনার্জি, দিস ইজ বেসিক্যালি হাফ এম ভি স্কোয়ার মাইনাস হাফ এম ইউ স্কোয়ার। সো উই ক্যান রাইট হাফ এম ইন্টু ইউ প্লাস ভি into v minus u. So that means half u plus v into mv minus mu, mv minus mu. So this I can write half u plus v into I. You know the impulse is basically u plus v, mv minus mu. So that means your answer is half u plus v. So option D is correct. So the next question, so this is question number, say question number 1, and there are 60 questions. So question number 2 দেখে নেওয়া যাক। You have given the variance of 30 observation. The variance of 30 observation. So 30 observation was found to be 10. তোমার variance 10 দেওয়া আছে, and each observation is multiplied by 5. তো আমরা এই টাইপের অঙ্ক করিয়েছি আমরা যখন ক্লাস করেছি আর কি এগুলোর ওপর। সো multiplied by 5, then the new variance of the observation, then new variance of the observation will be, so you have given, তোমরা কোশ্চেন পেপারটা একবার দেখে নিও, এই কোশ্চেনগুলো মিলিয়ে তোমরা আনসারটাকে দেখতে পারো। অপশন বি 15, অপশন সি 250, and অপশন ডি হলো 150. So what is given here? You have given the variance of x is 30, 30 observations. So n is basically 30, the variance is 10, it is given, and each observation is multiplied by. So we have a formula, if I multiplied by each observation by a, So variance of A is A square over X. So obviously here A equals to 5. That means your variance of new observation, So that will be 5 square multiple 10. 5 square multiple 10. So that means 250 will be the answer. So option C is correct. All other options are false. It was also a very easy question. So question number 3, you have given the roots of the equation. If the roots of equation is ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0, then a and b both are given non-zero and the roots are in the ratio. The ratio is given r is to 1. Then the value of r by r plus 1 এর whole square is option A BC by A, option B CA by B, option C CA by B square, and option D BC by A square. So what will be the value? Again the value will be here CA by B square. কেন বলছি আমরা? কারণ এখানে ধরে নাও যে roots of the equation, this equation roots are alpha beta. You know the equation is degree 2, so it has two roots, alpha and beta. So there is a relation, alpha plus beta equals to minus b by a, and alpha beta equals to c by a. And you also given alpha equals to beta r is to 1. So this is given, that means alpha by beta equals to r. So that means you have basically this relation. So what you will calculate? You will calculate r by r plus 1 whole square. So now what you can do? So r by r plus 1 whole square, that means r by 1 plus 2r plus r square. So that means r by basically r plus 2 plus 1 by r. So this is basically 1 by alpha plus beta, because you know the r value is alpha by beta. So alpha by beta plus 2, and that will be beta by alpha. So what will be the value? The value will be alpha beta by alpha plus beta whole square. Now you put the value, alpha beta is c by a, and this is minus b by a whole square. So the value will be ac by b square. So option C is correct here. Now coming to question number 4. You have given two set. One set is equals to all those x, y, z belongs to R cube such that x plus y plus z equals to 1, and you have given another set. এই কোশ্চেনটাও আমাদের যে সমস্ত আলোচনা হয়েছে তার ভিতরেই ছিল। এই টাইপের কোশ্চেন আমরা অনেক আলোচনা করেছি, so it is also one kind of common question to us. So see what is given. There are options like S is subspace of R cube, but not T. Option B, T is subspace of R cube, but not S. And option C, neither is nor T is a subspace of R cube, and option D is given, both S and T are subspace. So here option B is correct, karon S is not a subspace. Because why S is not? If the subspace contains the null vector, so this is your R cube, and that is null vector theta, this is 0, 0, 0. But if you check, if the theta basically does not belong to S, because here x component is 0, y 0, 0, this is basically 0 not equals to 1. So that means theta যেহেতু S এর মধ্যে নেই, তাহলে আমরা কি বলবো? S is not a subspace. So whereas তুমি যদি এটাকে দেখো x z equals to 0, so that means if you draw the coordinate axis, so obviously it represents x z both are 0. That means if it's y-axis, so y-axis, and this is z-axis. So that means your t is basically y-axis, and you know every line passing through the origin in R cube, that is basically subspace. So this is a subspace of R cube. So T is a subspace of R cube, but not S. So this option is correct. Question number 5, আমরা question number 5 নিয়ে ডিসকাশন করতে পারি। So question number 5, This is also very easy question, very simple question. A function f r to r is defined by so fx equals to mod x যেখানে x belongs to r, then there are option A, B, C, D. In D it is option F is not differentiable at any point of r, and option C is given if is not differentiable at x equals to 0. So it is also a famous problem, especially for the undergraduate level. So if you draw the graph, so it is the mod x, so the graph looks like, see what the peak exists, only 0 point. So this function is not differentiable at x equals to 0. So option C is correct. Okay, but if you take any point other than the origin where it must be different, in fact you will calculate limit extending to 0 fx minus f0 by x minus 0. So what will be the value? Limit extending to 0 mod x minus 0 by x. So limit extending to 0 mod x by x, and this basically does not exist. So obviously here you can do the comment f is not differentiable at x equals to 0. Okay, in fact if you check any number alpha, this is not equals to 0 belongs to R, then it has no problem, because you know fx equals to mod x, that will be x for x greater than equals to 0 minus x less than 0. So in the case of any non-zero point, it must be differentiable. So if it's not differentiable at any point of R, that is not valid. Even option A, B are not. So option C will be the correct option. Question number 6 দেখা যায় কি দেওয়া হয়েছে, if you have given n equals to 10, summation x equals to 20 and summation x square equals to 200. Then they actually ask the question, then the variance, তারা কি জিজ্ঞাসা করছে যে variance of the associated distribution is there are option A 4, option B 16, option C 9, and option D 3. Again this is also a easy question, very easy. So just you use the formula. What will be your variance of x? You know this is basically 1 by n summation xi square minus 1 by n summation xi that whole square. So that means 1 by n, here n equals to 10, so 1 by 10 into 200 minus 1 by n, that means 10 into 20, that is square. So this is basically 20 minus 4, so that means the 16 will be the answer. So option B is correct, all other options are false. Now coming to the next question, question number 7, that may differs for another set, but okay, you know the question paper, you have already in your hand. So from that you can check what will be your answer. So if f z to z be defined by what is given, you have given fz fn equals to minus 1 whole to the power n for all n belongs to z, and you have given another function gz to z be defined by so g of n equals to 2n. So now they have given then G composed F and F composed G are respectively কি হবে option A 2 into minus 1 whole to the power n and 1 n belongs to Z, and there are option B, C, D. I am not going to other options, so option A is correct. Why option A is correct? Just you calculate G composed F. So here the function f is given, here g is given, all are basically from z to z. So obviously in the cases G composed F is defined. So what will be G composed F of n? That will be G of Fn, and G, what is Fn here? Fn is minus 1 whole to the power n. So this will be basically 2 into minus 1 whole to the power n. So G composed F is done, and you will calculate F composed G. This is also function from Z to Z. So F composed G of n, this is basically F of Gn. So that means F of 2n, that means minus 1 whole to the power 2n, and this will be always 1. So that's why option A is correct, and all other options are basically false. Next question number 8. What is given? For what values of x? For what values of x? What values of x? The vector xi cap minus 4j cap plus 5k cap and I cap plus 2j cap plus k cap, 2j cap plus k cap, and 2 I cap minus j cap plus k cap are coplanar. Coplanar. This is also a easy question. Option A 3 by 29, option B 29 by 3, option C 20 by 3, and option D is basically 0. So how to solve this question? This is very easy. You just use the condition of coplanarity, and in that case x minus 4 for the determinant. So 1 2 1 and 2 minus 1 1, this value will be 0. So here you will get x equals to 29 by 3. So option B is correct. All other options are false. So this is question number 8. Question number 9. Question number 9. What is given? If the two straight lines, one straight line is x minus 1 by 2, y plus 1 by 3, z minus 1 by 4. And you have given another straight line x minus 3 by 1, y minus k by 2, z by 1 intersect. So when two straight line intersect each other, that means they lie on the same line, same plane, not same line, same plane. Or that means they are intersecting, that means they are coplanar. So then the value of k is ki hobe. There are option 2 by 9, option B 9 by 2, option C 9, and option D is minus 1. Again, if the straight line are basically intersecting, that means they are coplanar, they are in the same plane. So this is the line L1, this is the line L2. So the condition for coplanarity, it will be 2k plus 1 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 to 1. This basically is. So x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, and z2 minus z1. Then you just put the DRS of 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3 in the third row, the second row, third row. So from this, what you will get the value? You will get 2k equals to 9, 2k equals to 9, and the value of k will be 9 by 2. So option B is correct. All other options are false. Now coming to the question number 10. Question number 10. If mod magnitude of A vector equals to magnitude of B vector equals to magnitude of A plus B vector, all are basically 1, then what will be the magnitude of A minus B vector? This is equal to, so there are option is root 2, option B is root 3, option C is 2 root 3. So this is also a very common question. So obviously option B is correct. So how to calculate? You will just calculate mod of A plus B, that magnitude is square. This is equals to magnitude is square plus magnitude B square plus 2 into A vector dot B vector. So from that you just this 1 square plus 2a dot b, and from this you can calculate the value of a dot b, and this will be minus half. So now now you will calculate a minus b, that magnitude is square. This is a square minus plus minus 2a dot b, and where it will calculate. So this is 1 plus 1 minus 2 into minus half. So that means it is 3. So obviously mod of a minus b, that value will be root 3. So it is very simple solution. So now question number 11. So you have given fx equals to cos square x plus sec square x, and what is given? X not equals to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, and n belongs to natural number union 0. So then which one of the following is always true? Which one of the following is always true? So this was the question. Option A is given fx less than 1. Option B is given fx equals to 1. Option C is given 1 less than fx less than 2. And option D is given fx greater than equals to 2. Okay, so this is very simple, very simple. Just to check one point, like you take x equals to pi by 4. So what will be the value of pi by 4, and this value not equals to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, that type. So f of pi by 4, that means cos square pi by 4 plus sec square pi by 4. So this is 1 by root 2 whole square, this is root 2 whole square, that means 2 plus half. So what is this value? 5 by 2. In fact, this value is greater than 2. In fact, you can say the greater than equal. So there is no option. It contains fx less than 1, fx equals to 1. So we have seen this is greater than 2. So obviously option D is correct. So you can discard A, B, C. Obviously option D will be the correct option. So you just check with the help of point. Next question 12. Question 12. The curve 2 by r equals to half plus 1 by r cos theta, and that represents our option A parabola, option B a hyperbola, and option C is basically an ellipse, and option D is a straight line. So here ellipse will be the answer. Why ellipse will be the answer? Because you know the conic in the polar form, the equation is L by R equals to L by R. So this is 1 plus E cos theta. So you just change in that form. So you just multiply it by 2. So that will be 4 by R, 1 plus 2 by R, that means half cos theta. So what is E here? E is a half. Very simple question. This is less than 1. Oh, that means it represents an ellipse. Okay. So question number 13. Question number 13. So here you have given the function. If fx is an even function, then integration 0 to x ft dt. So there are option A an even function, option B an odd function, option C neither even nor odd, and option D is a zero function. So now you see here. Now you see here what is given. So that function you have to decide. So what I can do, you know the even function. If f of x equals to f of minus x for all x, then this function is given. So take an even function fx equals to x square. Just do the integration 0 to 2 t square dt. So what will be the value? The value will be t cube by 3, 0 to x. So x cube by 3. And check, this function is basically odd function. So it is neither even nor odd. So zero function and even discarded. So option B will be correct. So by taking an example, you can strike out the option. Don't need to prove here, because if you do prove, it will be very easier in general case. But okay, if you take example, you are discarding the 3 option and 1 option will be the correct. So now coming to question number 14. So this is the direct question. Y equals to mx plus b a square plus m square plus b square. This is basically the envelope of the family of straight line. So the envelope of the wait a minute. Of the family of straight lines, where a comma m comma b, mainly a and b are constants, and m is the parameter. So what will be the envelope? You know, it is basically the tangent of the ellipse. So ellipse, if you draw this kind of ellipse continuously, you will see it touches the tangent. So what will be the tangent if y equals to mx plus c? So what will be the value of c? Root under square m square plus b square. So the envelope will be option A. It is given circle. No. Option B ellipse. So obviously this will be ellipse. Option C hyperbola. hyperbola, and option D, parabola. So all other options are false. Ellipse will be the correct option. Now we will come to the point, question number 16. So if it is given xy are basically real number, then the value of the complex number থেকে দেওয়া হয়েছে. The value of this question is asked from complex number x plus iy, that modulus is, there are option e to the power x, option B e to the power mod x, option C e to the power x square plus y square, and option D e to the power mod x plus mod y. So this is also a very simple question. So how can do, which way you will solve? So you know e to the power x plus iy for mod equals to e to the power x into e to the power iy. So that means e to the power mod ab equals to mod a into mod b, and this value is basically 1. So e to the power x, this is cos y plus I sin y. This value is 1, so this is mod of e to the power x into 1. So now you know e to the power x, this is greater than 0 for all x belongs to real. So obviously this value will be e to the power x. So option A is correct. All other options are basically false. Now coming to the next question. This is very straightforward question. Question number 17. It is theoretical question. The Simpson one-third rule. Simpson one-third rule is applicable when the number of subinterval is option A prime. No, it is not about prime. Option B odd, again no. Option C already know, it is applicable only for even number of subintervals. So even will be the correct option, and it is one. So it is just a one-liner question, multiple of 3. Just you know the theory, you can give the answer. Next, you are given one important limit, and this is very, very important. Just you know from the formula, what will be limit n tending to infinity 1 by n whole to the power n. So you know this limit is E, and E is basically irrational number. E is basically irrational number. So you have given in option B an irrational number. Irrational number. So in fact, this is an example of a sequence of rational element, but converges to irrational number. So option A is correct, and all other options are basically false. Okay, so I'm going fast because I have to give the answer very fast. So the question number 19. Okay, so in the ring Q plus dot. Okay, you know, in fact, this is also a field, and in field every non-zero element have multiplicative inverse. So that means here option A, B, C, D. So in C it is written only non-zero element is a unit. Non-zero element is unit, and that option will be correct, because you know if you take any non-zero element from Q, you know A into 1 by A, this is basically 1 ring with unity, so obviously 1. So that means every non-zero element is an unit, so A not equals to 0 is unit. This is also a good question. So now question number 20. So you have given a set x, y, z belongs to R such that x square plus y square equals to 0. And this is there are option, not a subspace of R cube. And option B, ভীষণ tricky question, conceptual question. So subspace of R cube and dimension of S equals to 1. Option C, subspace of R cube, dimension of S equals to 2. And option D, subspace of R cube and dimension of S equals to 3. So now coming to this question, okay. So you know this set is basically nothing but the set is basically so if we solve x square plus y square equals to 0, so this is if and only x0 and y0. So that means it is 0, 0, z, so the z belongs to real number. So that means you take 0, 0, 1 and z belongs to real number. So it is a subspace. This is the linear span of 0, 0, 1, linear span. So you know যে any vector alpha যেখানে alpha not equals to theta, this is linearly independent set, and the one set is one number is spanning the set S. So obviously S is a subspace of R cube. So here this set linearly independent, that means 0, 0, 1, this set is a basis of R cube. So number of element in a basis is called the dimension. So dimension of S will be 1. So option B is correct. All other. This question is very, very tricky question and easy and simple question as well. So question number 21, which of the following function does not, this is very, very important, your mark is does not satisfy the condition, does not satisfies the conditions of Rolle's theorem on -1 closed interval. So you know the Rolle's theorem on closed AB, it is basically if we apply, so first condition if is differentiable on open AB, before that if is continuous on closed AB, and option 3 is FA equals to FB, then you can apply the Rolle's theorem. So these are the condition. So you have given the function x square, option B 1 by x square plus 4. So see all conditions satisfied here. So this is not the option. Satisfied here. This is not the option. Option C 1 by x. So you know 1 by x. This is even not continuous at x equals to 0. That means it is not differentiable also at x equals to 0. So condition 1 and 2 violating, because this number is basically -1 to 1. So option C is basically not satisfied the Rolle condition, Rolle's theorem condition. But root under x square by 3, this is satisfied, you can apply. So obviously this is not the option. So 1 by x is the option here. Now question number 22, this question is asked from sequence. Which of the following is true? There are option A is every convergent sequence is bounded. In fact, you have the theorem, every convergent sequence is bounded. You know that, but converse is not true. Like bounded sequence, every bounded sequence is convergent. So you know the example, -1 whole to the power 1, the sequence is bounded but not convergent. So option B is false. Option A will be the correct. I'm not going to option C and D. This is also false. So this is basically theorem, every convergent sequence is bounded, and this option is correct. So this is question number 22. Now coming to question number 23. Question number 23 all about determinant. If matrix theory, so if A and B be to n cross n real square matrices, and alpha is a real constant, then which of the following is true? So there are one option D. It is written date of alpha A dot B and multiplication B, it is alpha to the power n date A into date B. So obviously this option will be the correct option. Why I'm saying this thing? So you know date of AB equals to, if they are square matrix of same order, date A into date B. And you know date of CA, this is equals to C to the power n into date A. If we combine these two results, option D is correct, and all other options are basically false. So now question number 24, coming to question number 24, the equation of the straight line, bisecting the angles between the pair of lines 3x square plus xy minus 2y square equals to 0 is. So there are option B, C, D. So just you use the x square minus y square equation of the bisector of a pair of straight line by A minus B, that means 3 minus of -2, because here A is 3, B equals to -2. This is xy by h is basically half. So if you solve this, it will be x square minus y square minus 10xy. So minus 10xy equals to 0. So you have given the option x square minus 10xy minus y square equals to 0. So that will be the answer. All other option is false. Next question number 25. You have given mod x square minus 3 mod x, 3 mod x plus 2 equals to 0 and the number of solutions. So the number of solution, this question asks from theory of equation, of the equation, say 1 is, there are option A 0, option B number of real solutions, option B 1, option C 2, and option D is 4. So again option D will be the correct option. So here you will check x equals to plus minus 1 and plus minus 2 are the satisfies this equation. So here the solution is minus 1, 1, 2, minus 2. For achieving. Now question number 26. Question number 26. If the radial velocity, if the radial velocity of a particle is this is also easy question. Particle is proportional to the cross radial. এখানে written এখানে দেওয়া আছে transverse. So একই কথা, transverse and cross radial velocity, then the path is option A, a conic, option B, an angular spiral, equiangular. So this kind of question you have asked in previous year also. So option B is correct. Option C is a cardioid, and option D is a straight line. So why I'm saying just here the radial velocity r dot dr dt, this is basically cross radial k r theta dot. K is the proportionality constant because you have said this is proportional to r theta dot. So if you solve this, what will be your value? Your value will be r equals to e to the power k theta. So that means here the constant is basically 1 unit, then equiangular spiral, and this angle is basically theta. So it is basically the equiangular spiral. So 26, then 27, you have asked very simple integration, HS level integration 0 to pi by 2 sin x by sin x plus cos x dx. The value is option A pi by 2, option B pi by 4, option C half, and option D is 1. So here the answer will be pi by 2. So if you have a result, so 0 to A sin x by sin x plus cos x dx, and that will be basically 2i. Okay, if you take I, this value, so what you will get? You will get 2i equals to A and I equals to A by 2. So here A is here pi by 2, and that result is basically, so it is only applicable for A equals to pi by 2. So result is A equals to pi by 2. Or you can apply 0 to A f of A minus x dx, f of x dx integration 0 to A, that formula, again you will get this result. Okay, so there are question like 26, 27, 28. There is question from limit n tending to infinity n by n square, n by 1 square plus n square, n by 2 square plus, again this is also a very common question. So n minus 1 square by n square, and that limit is option A pi by 4, and that option is correct. Option B pi by 2, option C pi by 6, and option D is 1. Why it is correct? Because you can write is limit n to infinity 1 by n summation r equals to 1 to 0 to n minus 1 1 plus r by n a whole square. So that means it is integration 0 to 1 by 1 plus x square dx. So that means tan inverse of x, and this is 0 to 1. So that means tan inverse 1, tan inverse Yes, tan inverse 1 minus tan inverse 0. So obviously this value will be pi by 4. You know tan pi by 4 equals to 1, tan 45 degree. So now question number 30. You have given a matrix A equals to Aij, where all entries are 1. All Ij equals to 1 for all Ij. So that means you have given a matrix of M cross N. M cross N, all entries are 1. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So here the list minor, list non-zero minor, list non-zero minor, this is basically 1 and not equals to 0. So that means the rank of A depends on the highest order non-zero minor, highest order non-zero. This is basically 1. So you can get the 2 order minor, it will be 0, 3 order minor, it will be 0, M order minor, it will be 0. So obviously, basically the rank of A will be 1 here. So here option A is correct. You have given option A1, the rank of A. Option B, you have asked this is 0. So option C, D. So rank of A is 1. All other options are false. So now coming to question number 31, you have given x square plus xy plus y square plus x plus y equals to 1. So that represents option A, you have given an ellipse. Option B, a hyperbola. Option C, a parabola, and option D, a pair of straight lines. So obviously here if you check the formula, like D equals to AB minus H square, and delta equals to ABC, AHG, HG, and FF. So what you will get here? So if you check these things properly, okay, so you will check here D will be greater than 0, and that value is less than 0. Delta will be less than 0. So obviously here you can conclude, so this is also an ellipse. This represent an ellipse. Okay, so you can do it very easily. Now question number 32. Question number 32. If here this question asks for numerical Newton-Raphson method. If the initial approximation, this is x0 of a root of the equation x square plus x minus 5 equals to 0 is 2. So that means your initial approximation, this is given 2. Then the exact approximation, then the next approximation. You have to calculate x1 approximation. X1 of the root is কত হবে? Option A 11/5, option B 7/5, option C 9/5, and option D it is 13/5. So how to solve the question? You just use the formula. So x1, that will be x0 minus f of x0. Okay, so f of x0 divided by f dash x0. So you'll calculate your f of x0, that means f of 2, this is 1, and f dash x0, this is basically 5. So your x1 will be 2 minus 1/5. So this is 9/5, option D is correct. Again, this question is very simple. Just if you use the formula, you will get the result. So now coming to the question number 33, integration 0 to pi by 2 sine to the power 5x dx is, there are option 1, option B is 15/8, option C is 8/15, and option D is 8/15 into pi. Okay, so what will be the option? The formula is basically, that will be, if n is odd, The formula is n minus 1 by n minus 3 by n minus 2, and so on. Last value is 1. So what will be the value? Here n is basically 5. So 4 by 5 into 2 by 3 into 1. So that's this value. This value will be 8 by 50. So option C is correct. All other options are false. Now the question number 34, it is asked from group theory. The identity element on the set Z of integer under the binary operation star, defined by A star B equals to A plus B plus 1 for all AB belongs to Z is option A 0, option B is minus 1, option C 1, option D is 2. So minus 1 will be answer. So why minus 1 will be answer? You just calculate say what is the identity element. So if the identity element is minus 1, that means A star minus 1 equals to minus 1 star A. This is equals to A. That will be holds for all A belongs to Z. This will be holds. Now you check A star minus 1. What will be the value? A plus or minus 1 plus. This is A again. And minus 1 star A. So this is minus 1 plus A plus 1. So again the value is this. In all the cases, minus 1 is the identity element. Now coming to next question. Question number 35. The solution, this question comes from LPP. The solution 1102 to the system. So you have given a system x1 plus x2 plus x3 equals to 2, x1 plus x3 minus 3x3 equals to 2, and 2x1 plus 4x2 plus 3x3 minus x4, this is equals to 4 is. So there are option A, B, C, D. Option D will be correct, not a basic solution. It is feasible but not basic. Why feasible? And feasible because it is greater than equals to 0, all quantity. Here you check the number of equation. So this is basically 3. So 3 basic variable and 1 non-basic, that means 4 minus 3. So that means 1 variable is non-basic, and non-basic variable we are considering as 0. So that means here x1, x2 and x4, they are the basic variables. Now we will calculate the determinant of this x1, x2, x4. What will be the determinant? 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1, 0 again, and next 2, 4 minus 1. And if we check this determinant will be 0. So in that case, this solution 1102, this is solution, but feasible, but it is not basic, and corresponding date is basically 0. If non-zero, then it will be basic. So not a basic solution. Option D is the correct option. Next, you calculate. This question is coming from your book. In a mathematics, in an examination, 30% student failed in mathematics. So you just draw the Venn diagram. So mathematics, and you have given the chemistry, and again here you will get the answer. The answer is A, B, C, D. I'm not solving, so 1 by 3. It is very common question, so 1 by 3 is the correct option. Now coming to the question number 37. Why question number? If you have given the fx if r to r, so what is given? Fx equals to 2x and 1 minus x. This is very popular and common question. That kind of question is asked every kind of competitive examination. So just what you will do, 2x equals to 1 minus x and 3x equals to 1, x equals to 1 by 3. So this kind of function is continuous only at x equals to 1. Okay. So if you have given a continuous at x equals to 1/3 and nowhere else, in fact, nowhere else. So obviously option C, it is given f is continuous at x equals to 1/3. So that option is correct. All other options are false. Next question number 38. What is asked? Integration e to square dx by x log x. X log x. This value is, there are option A 1, option B logarithm of 2, option C 2 log 2, and option D 1 by log 2. So here the option is B is correct, just simple integration. So why I am saying simple, just you will take your dx 1 by x dx log x e2 square. So you can do d of log x by log x integration e2 square dx. So this is basically log of log x integration e2 square. So that means it will be, the value will be log of log square minus log of logarithm of e. So that means this is basically log 2, log e basically 1. So log 1, that means this value is 0. So log 2 will be the answer. Okay, so log 2 will be the answer. This is a very simple question. Again, the question asks from dynamics 39. If you have given equation displacement, it's a simple harmonic motion. So cos pt minus alpha, where a, p, alpha, they are basically constants. Okay, which of the false? So they actually asking for false statement. Be careful, false statement. So here the false statement, if you solve this equation, you just do the dx dt. So that will be basically a sine minus sine, in fact a pt minus alpha. Then you do the second derivative, and this is basically minus p square a cos pt minus alpha. So that means minus p square x. So d2x dt square equals to minus p square x. Okay, and in fact here you will see the x is in fact here x is basically function of t. Okay, now you have given the option, even you can do the derivative, that will be d2x dt cube. This will be minus p square dx dt. So your false statement will be here option number C. Option number C, what is given? d2x dt2 equals to px square. So plus symbol is here. So obviously this is false. Okay. In fact, this will be not the equation of motion. Okay. So option C is a false statement. So that means it is correct. And A, B, and D, they are the true statement. So obviously this option will be discarded. Now they ask the question again from linear algebra, question number 14. The two eigenvectors of a square matrix over a field F corresponding to two distinct eigenvalues of A are always option A equal, option B independent, option C dependent, and option D not. So independent will be the answer, because this is the result. If the lambda 1 and lambda 2, two distinct eigenvalues of a matrix A n cross n, then the corresponding eigenvector, whatever the eigenvector, so eigenvector x1 and x2, and that set is linearly independent. So this is just a theorem. So from theorem it is asked the question, one liner question, straightforward. So option B is correct. Now coming to question number 41, if you have given a group, the group is basically abelian group, and here order of A is given 5 and order of B is 7. So they asked order of, not order of, the AB whole to the power 14 is, there are option A, option B A to the power -1, option C AB, and option D is B. So this is very simple question. You know in an abelian group what is happened, AB whole to the power n equals to A to the power, because it is abelian. Okay, so for all AB belongs to G, where G is abelian. So you have given the abelian condition. So this is A to the power 14, B to the power 14. So this means A to the power 5 equals to E. This means A to the power B to the power 7 equals to E. So what we can write? We can write E to the power 5 to the power cube into A inverse. Okay, and this is B7 square. So what we can write from here? E to the power cube into A inverse in square. So it will be A inverse. So option B is correct. All other options are false. Again, coming to question number 42. This is all about trapezoidal rule. Trapezoidal rule is applied and combination of trapezoidal and Simpson one-third applied fx dx. Okay, and from trapezoidal rule, this value is basically 4. So that means what is given here. So if you take 0, h, 2, just take 2 intervals. Okay, so here h equals to basically 2. So just you take 0 to 2, 0 to 2 in fact. So here h is basically 2. This is basically b minus a. So what is h by 2? H by 2 into f of a plus f of b. This is basically given 4. So that means 2 by 2 equals to f0 plus f2. This is basically 4. So that means it is given f0 plus f2 equals to 4. Now coming, this value is again, this is by trapezoidal. Next, it is given for Simpson one-third. Simpson one-third gives this value fx dx by Simpson one-third. The value is basically 2, and in 0 to 2 again it is by Simpson one-third. So if I apply the Simpson one-third rule, so h by 2, so that means here you take this interval. Just see here h will be different. H will be 1. So h by 2, and the formula is f0 plus 4 into odd point gulote, even point gulote 2, so plus 2 f2. So this value is basically 2. So h is basically 1, so 1/3 f0 plus f2. This value is 4 with the help of Simpson trapezoidal rule by 1, and 4 plus 4 f1 equals to 2. That means f1 equals to 6 minus 4 by 4, 2 by 4, that means half. So what will be the answer? Option D is correct, because in option D it is given half. Now coming to question number 43. Question number 43 in LPP, in a LPP linear programming problem, it is about the decision variable. The decision variable, decision variable always xi greater than equals to 0 for all I equals to 1 to n. Given you have given the LPP x bar greater than or less than or equal b bar, here the maximize or minimize z equals to cx. You have given these things. So decision variable, option C will be correct. Any non-negative real numbers. Any non-negative real numbers. So that will be the option. And other option D, non-negative integers. So not integer, maybe real number. Okay. So now the question again asks from linear algebra. This question is very easy. It is all about eigenvalues of a real skew symmetric matrix. Are only what will be the value? So you have given the option C, either purely imaginary, straightforward and one-liner question, or 0. So option C is correct. All other options are false. Next, the question number 45. It is direct application of Schwarz theorem in function of several variable. থেকে this question জিজ্ঞাসা করা হয়েছে. So let f(xy) be defined on a domain D in the xy plane, and AB belongs to D, and further fy exists in the neighborhood of AB, and you have given if yx is continuous at AB. So just we apply the Schwarz theorem in function of several variable. So you know at the point AB, what will happen? The mixed derivative if yx basically equal to fxy. So option C is the correct option. Now question number 46. If the set A is given A, B, C, D, the number of non-empty proper subset of A, then this question comes from set theory. Then the number of proper subsets of A, in fact number of non-empty means A not equals to subset. If subset B is a subset of A, so obviously B is non-empty, B not equals to 5, and proper means B not equals to A. So what will be the option? Option A is given 14, option B is given 15, option C is given 16, option D is given 17. Now you know these things. If the set A, the cardinality is n, so power set of A, set of all subsets. This is basically 2 to the power n, the number of power set of A. So number of power set of A, basically set of all subsets, but set is non-empty. So here 2 to the power 4, it is given because the cardinality of A is 4. So number of subset will be 2 to the power 4. That will be the number of subsets. Minus, it is non-empty, that means 5 minus. Then the proper, it is given proper. So A is also eliminated. So what will be the value? So 16 minus 2. So 14 will be the answer. So option A will be very simple question. Now coming to the 47, so this is also an interesting question. You have asked the integrating factor of the differential equation. Okay, the differential equation x plus 1 dy dx minus y equals to e to the power 3x into x plus 1 square. Is, there are option 1 by 1 plus x0 whole square, option B x plus 1, option C 1 by x square plus 1, and option D is x square plus 1. এই অঙ্কটাকে যারা লিনিয়ারে কনভার্ট করেছো, so that means dy dx equals to minus 1 by 1 plus x into y equals to e to the power 3x into x plus 1. তাদের ক্ষেত্রে ইন্টিগ্রেটিং ফ্যাক্টর of e to the power minus 1 by x plus 1 dx p dx. So what will be the value? The value is log of 1 plus x, okay, e to the power minus log, so that means 1 by 1. But this is not given in the answer. So what you can do, you have to multiply these things. If you multiply these things with the equation, you will check, but first you convert m dx plus n dy equals to 0. Now you just do the m dash equals to 1 by 1 plus x square into m, and n dash equals to 1 by 1 plus x square into n. Now you check del m dash del y equals to del n dash del x. So obviously this will be the integrating factor, and all other options are false. It is a very tricky question. So question number 48. You have given a function if r to r. The cleverly you will deal with the function. You have to understand these things. ভালো করে বোঝো বিষয়টা কি বলেছে. So if you draw the graph, so the graph is basically y equals to x square. Now you take f of 1 equals to f of minus 1. See, here the 1 point value is minus 1 point value. This is basically 1. That means f is not injective. Now if you draw the horizontal line, just negative line, this is parallel to x-axis, so y equals to minus 1. So for the point So this is your R, this is your R. If you take the -1 from the codomain set, so there is no X just such that Fx equals to. That means every element have no pre-image. In fact, negative element of the codomain set have no pre-image. So obviously it is not surjective. So that means you have given the option D, neither injective, and not surjective, that will be the correct option, 48D. Now coming to the next question, this is also very simple. This question asked from series. So 1 by n to the power n equals to 1 to, I think সবাই এটা ঠিক করেছো. So this is convergent. When it will be convergent, if the value of p is greater than. So and you will see this is given in option D, p greater than 1. So this is the correct option. Now question number 50. Now this question asks from classical algebra book from complex number. So n is a positive integer greater than 1, and z is complex number such that z to the power n equals to 1 plus z whole to the power n. Then so you have given option A, real z, this is less than equals to 0. Option B, real z greater than, this option will be correct. Option A is the correct option. Option C, real z equals to 1, and option D, imaginary z equals to 0. So what happened if you solve this question? You will get the answer. So what will be the answer? I'm saying you. Okay, just give me 1 minute. So here if you solve this question, the Zn equals to these things. So your answer will be Z will be minus half minus I cot I by 2 cot k pi by n. What is k? K equals to 1 2 up to n minus 1. So see what will be your real Z. So this is minus half, and that is only condition the first one is satisfied. So this is question number 15. Question number, now coming to question number 51. What is asked? You have given a line. The line is x minus 1 by 2, y minus 2 by 2, z minus 4 by 1. This line lies on the plane ax minus 3y plus 5z plus d equals to 0. Then the value of A is option A minus 1, option B 1, option C half, option D 3. So if you have given a plane, the plane is ax minus 3y plus 5z plus d equals to 0. So what is the DRS of the normal to the plane? So the DRS of the normal A minus 3, 5. See, the line is basically on the plane. So on the plane, so that means with the DRS, the angle is basically 90 degree with the line. So x minus 1 by 2, y minus 2 by 2, z minus 4 by 1. So here the DRS is 2 to 1. So what will the value of A? So 90 degree, that means L1 L2 plus M1 M2 plus N1 N2 equals to 0. So here the value will be 2A minus 6 plus 5. Minus 6 plus 5 will be 0. So that means 2A equals to 1. That means A equals to half. So your value of A is half. So option C will be the correct option. All other options are basically false. Now question number 52. Again, very easy question. So question number 52, your value of phi is 3.14. That is taken instead of the value of phi is 3.14159. So then you have asked the absolute error, okay. So you know the absolute error, this is basically the true value minus approximate value. So if you do these things, so approximate value, so if you do these things, your value will be, see, they are 3.14159, 3.14. So this will be 0.00159. So 0.00159. And you have a given absolute error, correct up to 2 significant figure. Correct up to 2 significant figure. Significant figure. So if you do the floating point representation, so floating point representation correct up to 2 significant figure, you will take up to this. Now see 5 is followed by a non-zero number, and this is basically 9. Even this is an odd number. 5. So obviously the option will be A, B, C, D. D option will be the correct, and that will be 0.0016. Okay. So this option will be correct. So now coming to question number 53. So the direction quotient of the normal, the direction cosine DCS of the normal to the plane, plane Z equals to 5 is, there are options 0, 0, 1, option B 1, 0, 0, option C 0, 1, 0, and option D 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, and 0. So this is very tricky and very simplest question that asked from 3D geometry. So the plane is basically, now if you draw these things, okay, so this is your XY plane, this is X-axis, Y-axis, and Z-axis. So you have given a plane like this. The plane is basically Z equals to 5. Okay, so Z equals to 5. That means it is one kind of parallel to XY plane. So what will be the normal? So here the normal will be in fact Z-axis. So it is parallel to Z-axis, that will be the normal, and direction cosine will be 0, 0, 1. So option A will be the correct. To know the direction cosine of the Z-axis, DCS of Z-axis, because Z-axis here the normal, this is 0, 0, 1. Now the question is 54. This question is asked from group theory. So you have given a group G0, and they have given this is a group. Define a function f of G to G fx equals to x inverse for all x belongs to G. So you have to first check fx equals to fy, that will implies x equals to y or not. So fx equals to fy, that means x inverse equals to y inverse. You take the inverse because it is a group, the inverse exists for elements. So this is x equals to y. So that means this result holds for all xy belongs to G. That means if G to G, this is injective. Again, you take a element from codomain set. This is a map from G to G. So y belongs to G. Y belongs to G, and G is codomain. Now if you do the if of y inverse, so y also G element, y inverse also G element, because G is a group. So that will be y inverse and inverse. So this will be y for. So that means what we get, f of y inverse equals to y for all y belongs to G. So that means f is surjective also. So if we combine this, it will be bijective. So you have given the option D, bijective. So bijective will be the correct option. Next question number 55. So limit xy tending to 0, 0. So you have asked xy by x square by y square. Option A 1, option B half, option C aperture, and option D does not exist. So that does not exist will be the answer, because this is a one kind of famous function. And if you take that, it's a homogeneous function, in fact, homogeneous. So if it is homogeneous, so y equals to mx line choose. So let xy tending to 0, 0 along y equals to mx. So what will be the value? X into mx by x square plus mx whole square, and that will be limit x tending to 0. So this will be m by 1 plus m square, the common dialog, which is different for different values of m. So obviously here limit does not exist. Now question number 56. So what is question? xy minus px minus qy plus pq equals to 0. And this equation represent option A ellipse, option B a circle, option C hyperbola. দেখো একটা জিনিস যে জেনারেল সেকেন্ডারি ইকুয়েশন থেকে তিনখানা কোশ্চেন করা হয়েছে। অপশন ডি পেয়ার অফ স্ট্রেট লাইন। So you will check the formula like AB minus H square. So that will be minus 1 by 4 less than 0. So this is D, and delta. So this is A, B, C, HG, HG, FF, and we will check this value, and this value will be 0. So that means it represents a pair of straight line. So these options are false. Now 57, you have asked the A, B, 2 cross 2 matrix. What will be the value of adjoint A? So what will be the value? Option A is square, option B is A, option C is a to the power -1, a to the power -2. So you know adjoint A, this is basically determinant of A whole to the power n minus 2 into A. So what is A in here? 2 by 2 matrix, n equals to 2. So what will be the adjoint A? So that will be the date A whole to the power 2 minus 2. So A will be the answer. So option B is correct. All other options are basically false. Now coming to question number 58, that question again asked from LPP. The set is basically is equals to all those x1, x2 such that x1 square plus x2 square. This is less than equals to 1 and x1, x2 greater than equals to 0. So that means it is basically a circle, but the first quadrant is taken. So this quadrant is taken. So one thing we will understood, okay, what are the extreme point of this set? This is a convex set. So this is a convex set, and extreme point is, this point is extreme, this one is extreme, this one. In fact, all points on this perimeter, the first quadrant, all are the extreme points. So infinite number of extreme points. Okay, so there are option A, B, C, and D. The C option is a convex set with no extreme point. B option was a convex set with infinite number of extreme points. So that will be the option, and all other options are false. Now question number 59. So this question asked from statistics. Okay, so an experiment consists in throwing of a die 5 times and nothing the number of sixes, Okay, the experiment is repeated লিখছি কোশ্চেনটাকে 200 times এটাকে রিপিট করা হয়েছে with the following result. What is the result? So you have given here the number of sixes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and here the frequency দেখো 6 কিন্তু আসেনি টেবিলে, এখানে বলেছে নাথিং নাম্বার অফ 6 কিন্তু আসেনি, শুধু 0 থেকে 5 এর মধ্যেই লাই করেছে। মানে তোমাকে এখানে ডায়ের ফেসটা 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, সো 0 এসছে 58 টাইমস। অ্যাকচুয়ালি এটাই তোমার 6 এর ঘটনাটা বলছে, 0 তো থাকে না, 0 পজিশনে 6 নিয়েছে আর 6 পজিশনে 0 নিয়েছে। ইট ইজ 86, it is 40 and then 14, then 2 and 0. So here they ask the sample mean. The sample mean is, there are option A, B, C, D. So 1.04, 1.08, that will be the answer. 1.05 and 1.08. Sorry, 0.08. Now careful, the formula is basically the mean formula here. This is A5 XI by summation A5. So if you calculate A5 XI, so this will be 216, just to multiply 0 into 58 plus 1 into 86 plus 2 into, so 0 into 58 plus 1 into 86 plus 2 into 40 plus, in that way you will continue, and you will divide it by 58 plus 86. This will be what is the value? 200 times. So 200 times. So that means it will be 108 divided by 100. So that means 1.08 will be the answer. So option B is correct. Now question number 60. This is the last question that is asked again from complex number. If AB are real, then the value of I log 10 I log A minus IB by A plus IB is option A 2AB by A square minus B square, option B AB by A square plus B square, option C AB by A square minus B square, and option D 2AB by A square plus B square. Okay, so here the option will be first one 2AB by why? Because in yours you will see the scheme of a book. So if it is sine I log of A minus IB by A plus IB, if you solve this problem will be, if you do it sine, so that will be 2AB by A square plus B square. Now you know that for a right angle triangle, what is the sine? Sine is basically perpendicular by hypotenuse. So hypotenuse square plus B square perpendicular to AB. So what will be this value? This value will be a square man. So what will be the tan theta? So tan theta, that will be tan, the tan will be, so tan of this angle I log A minus IB by A plus IB. This will be perpendicular, base by, perpendicular by base. So what will be the value? 2AB by A square minus B square. Yes, 2AB by A square. So option A is the correct option. এই ছিল আমাদের কোশ্চেন পেপার আজকে। দেখতেই পারলে যে কতটা ইজি কোশ্চেন ছিল, সেজন্যই আমি বলছি যে কাট অফ হয়তো হাই হতে পারে। দিস ইজ মাই এক্সপেকটেশন, বাট ওকে, বেস্ট অফ লাক সবাইকে। দেখো তোমরা সলিউশনটা, যদি কোথাও মনে হয় যে আমরা কোনো অপশন ভুল করেছি তাহলে আমাকে কমেন্ট সেকশনে জানাও। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ।